just got out of work. You've had a long day. You're so hungry. You spilled coffee on your shirt this morning and you are done. You get in your car, relieved the day is finally over and you can go home, but then you stop. You realize you have to lead a small group of students in an hour. Sound familiar? Now I know you love your small group. You care about them. You're committed to them. You want to have great conversations, but maybe, just maybe, you're not always as prepared for your small group conversation as you could be. So before you even get to small group, the first way to make your conversations matter more is to prepare. Oh, no, I know. You're a volunteer. You don't get paid for this, but I promise, these ideas are simple and you can do them all from your couch. If you want to prepare for your small group conversation, read your email. Now, I might not know your student pastor, but I'm guessing he or she has a plan each week for your small group conversation. Hopefully, your student's pastor sends you an email with important information like what they'll be teaching and what you'll be asking when you get to small group each week. If you do get an email, read it. Because if you want your conversations to matter more, it's probably a good idea to know what the small group conversation will be about before you walk in the door. So, prepare for your small group conversation by reading your email. If you want to prepare for your small group conversations, rehearse what you'll say. Have you ever had an imaginary conversation? It's okay to admit it. It's okay. Maybe you were getting ready for a first date, prepping for a job interview, or thinking of some really killer comebacks for that troll on Facebook. Having imaginary conversations simply means mentally rehearsing what you're going to say before you say it. I'm not saying you should memorize lines or write a script for a small group conversation. I'm just saying that what you say can probably be said better if you rehearse what you're going to say, or not say, before you say it. As an SGL, having an imaginary conversation means trying to anticipate how your small group conversation will go before small group, so you'll be less likely to be caught off guard during small group. See? It's simple, but it's so important. When you have a weekly imaginary conversation with yourself, you'll be able to better clarify your thoughts, refine your words, anticipate their responses, lead the conversation. Because if you want this week's small group conversation to matter more, you probably want to think about how the conversation will go before the conversation begins. Prepare for your small group conversation. Rehearse what you'll say. If you want to prepare for your small group conversation, pack an emergency kit. No, we don't mean bandages and disinfectant, although with teenagers that's actually not a bad idea. We mean the kind of supplies that will help you rescue your small group conversation in the event of emergencies like out-of-control extroverts, awkward silences, irrelevant rabbit trails, and general chaos. Think through some things that might be helpful. A Ziploc bag to hold all the phones until the end of group. Maybe some candy would always be good to have on hand. Or maybe a stress ball, not for you. To use as a talking ball when your few are going on and on and on, whoever has the ball gets to talk. So think through what would be most helpful to have during your group time and bring them. Because if you want this week's small group conversation to matter more, you might want to be ready for anything. If you want to prepare for your small group conversation, pray for your few. Now, this one can easily become an afterthought rather than a vital part of your weekly preparation. Some weeks you hurriedly plead to God as you're running late to small group. Other times, the only time you pray for your small group is during your small group. But we've discovered that there are at least 2 reasons why praying for your small group should be an every week thing. Pray for your few because they need it. In case you forgot, being a teenager is really hard. They have a lot going on, so pray for them because they need it. Pray for your few because you need it. A lot of times when we pray, we're praying for God to do something for us. But God actually told us to pray for others. A lot. Maybe He knew that when we prayed for others, it would change us too. In other words, when you pray for your few, you develop more compassion for your few. And as an SGL, you'll need that compassion when the conversation bombs, or somebody rolls their eyes, or they ask a tough question, or confidentiality gets broken. So make prayer a habit rather than an afterthought. Prepare for your small group conversation. Pray for your few.